you ask the press here, they won't tell you lah, publicly they tell me. When Najib makes a press conference and he's asked something very controversial, what happens? The press conference is cancelled. I try to advise my father also, sometimes maybe you can cancel some press conferences. But we support freedom of the media, so it defeats the purpose. So he cancels. He takes good care of his appearances, his image in the public domain. But I'm asking you tonight to judge how the level of inaction has been taken against Dato' Sri Shariza when her husband and family are being implicated in National Feedlot Centre scandal. You must realize it is very important, because not only does it involve Dato' Sri Shariza, it involves Dato' Sri Najib's beloved Deputy President of UMNO, Dato' Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, I always forget the accolades. Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who approved the project in the first place. Now he is escaping unscathed. You must remember that. He approved the project. It took us 2 years. Every single day, raising it in Parliament. Thank God, finally, after the Auditor General reported inconsistencies in the project, only then the public got to know about the scandal. But it is not easy. Continuously criticizing, bringing up these issues, only after 2 years you get a fruitful outcome. Still issue remains. But my point is, 2% soft loan for 250 million, you add on the grants, total of 330 million, and this is where I want to touch on my favorite federal territory minister lah, Dato' Najib, you know him, right? Businessman, you know. What was the air conditioning unit again? He used to be involved in. Now the point is, the point is, the FD minister that comes up with a brilliant scheme. Brilliant scheme, no need to use government money, we use EPF money. Never mind that, EPF, good one. Already give 6 billion for Felda, why not another 1.5 billion to finance home loans for the poor? So, YB Tony, myself, Dr. Zul, we did a little digging. We asked from EPF, what is this? Why is the minister announcing the use of EPF money when certain directors in EPF, on EPF board, does not know about it? One. And how come it is being announced when in 2010, October 2010, initially the announcement was 9 banks were to service the loan affecting the poor in selected PPR, about 20,000 total. When we asked, the loan will be given 300 million EPF funds at the interest rate of 5.5%. I want to ask you, do you know how much the interest rate will be for the poor, impoverished people renting the PPR units? Anyone got a guess? Shariza got 2%. Poor people, how many? How much you think? Give me a number. 6. Oh, close. PG people very smart. Are you an economist? See, laymen also know. They are giving an interest rate, charging an interest rate of 6.5% for the poor. Civil servants get 4%. Dato' Sri Shariza's husband got 2%. K-Euro for West Coast Highway gets 4%. Poor people, 6.5%. And who's going to manage this loan? Who's going to manage? Who's going to actually manage the money lent to poor people? None other Dato' Sarjan No Cheeks, private special purpose vehicle where he is reigning chairman to manage the money from EPF, then I give me lah, my special purpose vehicle. I give to the poor and I get 1% in terms of service charge. Baru lah. Yeah, I know, sounds a bit smart. But the point is, imagine profiteering from the poor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are two members of Najib's cabinet. I mean, we must understand that this must not be allowed to continue. And then you ask me, what are our proposed solutions? Sometimes I go frequent different areas, especially in rural hinterland. I explain the successes in Penang and Selangor, Kedah, Kelantan to a lesser extent, and they say to me, you know, so Penang government does care for the Malay. I say yes, but the problem is there is a dearth of information. We do not get to inform the general public, and it's why we need you to help. Now you talk about even in the issue of manufacturing investments. I know that Y.A. Bilingguaning has mentioned this, but my point being, the argument that Dato Sri Mustafa gave, Penang only succeeded as #1 in attracting manufacturing investments because the federal government helped them. In Kedah different because Kelantan is not able to do the same. But Dato Sri Mustafa Muhammad is a member of parliament in Jaya, in the state of Kelantan. What has he done to assist the Kelantanese, aside from denying them 800 million ringgit worth of royalties every year? My past better would know. You deny a state because of their political decision, their political choice. Similarly, the same in Terengganu. Once BN takes over, it is given back to the state. So ladies and gentlemen, my point here is, people say yes, the states are important, but we're dealing with a smaller pool of money. My argument is, if you can make money from a smaller pool of money versus the BN government losing a huge amount of money, giving the Rakyat a smaller amount of money, then who should be your choice? Pakatan Rakyat. The point is, you start with measurement of how you govern at the state level, and then you move on to showcase the experiences in the states have allowed us to understand the difficulties, challenges in governing at the federal level. And that is why for me, we talk about the rot in the judiciary, the rot in the ministries, the rot in the investigating agencies that are supposed to guard our money. There is no way except to implement political reforms. That is why in the next parliamentary session, not only will I move a private member's bill to abolish the Printing Presses and Publications Act so the media can finally be free from any stranglehold, but to initiate an amendment of Article 121 of the Federal Constitution, so finally we will return the judicial powers to our judiciary and freedom from the ghost of Mahathir Mohamad and every other dictatorial executive leader in this government we have today. The point is this: in Malaysia, we require structural reforms. In Malaysia, we require political reforms. In Malaysia, we require economic reform. And Pakatan Rakyat, keadilan, DAP and PAS We are committed because we will never forget the trust that the Rakyat put in our hands on that fateful year, 2008. But for me, the defining moment that made me realize all of us here, we want a Malaysia, not a Malay saja. And because of that, it starts with us. It starts with the realization that things have to change, and it starts with the fact that we must push the government of the day to implement electoral reforms. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to make sure they fulfill their promises. We have to make sure whatever happened, Project IC di Sabah, the stateless, the illegal foreign workers who are now numbering more than original Sabahans. It is not a fate repeated in Semenanjung. And it's not my words, it's not my allegation. It is in a document by the Parliamentary Select Committee on Electoral Reforms affirming Project IC did take place. The government gambled with citizenship and forced these illegal immigrants to vote for Barisan Nasional in return of being citizens of this country. Now that we know, what are we going to do about it? That's why I'm telling you, keep your eyes closed on the ballot box. Keep your eyes closed on the ballot box. Don't you dare let economic pirates and these political pirates run away with the decisions, the noble decisions that Malaysians have made. I dare tell you, if Najib his entire corrupt echelon of leadership implement 100% of Bersih's demands, and Rakyat, maybe due to bad choice, chooses Barisan Nasional, I will willingly be a loyal opposition. The point is, win or lose, we do it honorably. Of course, at this juncture, Tony would like me to say, yes, we will win. But again, these are realities. You talk about challenges, I am being frank with you, and I'm asking you, please, we have to work hard, we have to keep up the momentum, and remember, tell your friends, moment itilai kai ke. And friends, who speak Tamil, I want to tell you, I've been using Nambike for the past 3 years, and it's not used to buy votes from people. When you use Nambike, it means you represent the hope and the aspiration of the future generation. So that Najib, use it wisely. Don't use it as a ploy to buy votes, because the Rakyat are not expecting mere pittance. They are expecting real change. They are expecting leaders who care, who love, who will govern this country with the spirit of a better Malaysia. Thank you very much.